Hey everyone, you're watching Guitar Planet Magazine online. We're about to go inside the Saint Denis Theatre here in Montreal, Canada to talk to Joe Bonamassa. Well, let's talk about your new album, Dust Bowl. And you went back to Santorini in Greece to record this,
We
the
did.
same as Black Rock, your previous release. What effect does this location have on the recording process? I imagine you would go into a studio in Santorini with different inspirations or attitudes than you would in Nashville or LA.
Well, let's just take where we are now. I mean, Montreal. If I did a record in Montreal, you can't. It's a city of very strong culture, so you can't help but be influenced by your surroundings. It's like, it's the same thing with Santorini. It's a very strong culture. You're on this island. You're in the middle of the Aegean Sea. And this is where they theorized the lost city of Atlantis is, or was, before the massive volcanic eruption. And so you can't help but be somewhat influenced by the surroundings, because at the end of the day, even if you were hell-bent in not having it permeate the music, it's going to anyway. Just the fact that you're there. The limitations of what you can bring. It's like, like when I record in LA, I mean, I have access to, all my equipment, which, hundreds of guitars and amps and stuff like that. And here you can only bring us what you can legally get on a ferry. So you're like, your choices are limited. So, it's like we needed a mandolin part. Well, they don't sell mandolins on Santorini, so we ended up getting a baglama, or a jarras. And all of a sudden, it starts permeating the record. And just by default. So it's a lot of fun.
Does that take you in new directions, using instruments that are, traditional Greek instruments like
Absolutely.
the baglama?
We wouldn't have had the song Dust Bowl without it.
Right.
We wouldn't have had the song Black Lung Heartache without it. I mean, and it's not like I'm trying to kind of be heady about it and just be overly worldly, for the sake of, being worldly, It was just an opportunity that we had to go record there, and it was just a lot of fun. Kevin and I loved the place. We loved the studio, and it's very, very creative. And I feel very fortunate that I've been able to work there, now twice. So.
And you went into the studio on this new album with a clean slate, but the finished project, the Dust Bowl, has more original tracks on it than some of your previous albums, like Black Rock.
Yeah, I mean, truth be told, I walked in the studio going, I have nothing. I have nothing in my head. I just finished a really, really raucous, very difficult summer tour in Europe. We were doing lots of festivals, lots of fly dates. It was pretty brutal. And I walked in and I was like, okay, hat in hand, I gotta just kind of pull myself up by the bootstraps and go do it. And I think necessity is the mother of invention, and sometimes with these records you can't win for trying, no matter how hard you try. But then sometimes when you just kind of like, okay, I'm just going to accept the fact that it's going to be what it is, and it'll be ready when it's ready. And then that's like, that's when it all kind of came together. So once we had the song Dust Bowl and a few other Slow Train, I could start seeing I go, okay, now I can see what the record's going to be like.
Right. When you perform those songs, because there are more originals, do you feel more personal performing them? Do they feel?
Yeah, I mean, the
closer
lyrics
to your
always feel a
heart?
little bit more personal. It's so weird, like the remakes that I do, I'll never script the lyrics, ever. Very rarely. I don't know, say ever. But on my original songs, I mess up the lyrics all the time, and you see these poor people in the front row with these confused looks on their face. You ready to sing that? Like, repeating verses and stuff like that. I mean, maybe we're getting old. Maybe it's time for the teleprompter. I don't know. But no, it does mean more to you, especially when you have an original song that means something to people and it's connected and it's one of your big songs. But truth be told, it's like, all this is, all the records are just really designed to be a snapshot in the time period in your life.
Right. And the album has songs on it like Dust Bowl, like Black Lung Heartache, that are so evocative of imagery that they feel more like movie soundtracks. And so
They do.
when you're
Why-
writing, does that drive you? Does imagery drive you?
No, I mean, my stuff has never been licensed for movies at all. I mean, like, you know, to me, what it was is like a, you know, like that flat
Right.
five thing.
I heard that and I thought Quentin Tarantino,
Yeah.
the opening scene to it.
You
It's
know,
so ominous.
that-
And
if I had a Bixby on this, you know, you get the cowboy guitars. Like to me, it's just straight up Dwayne Eddy. You know, and you know, you pick behind the bridge, and it's, you know, behind the back picket. And that's all it is, you know. But it really gives you that kind of spaghetti western
Yeah.
feel. And it was just, we were just going, okay, we just kept layering the song. Going, how about a cowboy guitar? How about a Duras? How about a Bogomol? How about there's like 4 or 5. I mean, for me, I'm not really a layering kind of artist, you know, like most of my stuff is pretty much straight up and a few overdubs. But this one really, we took time and really made sure that the layers and everything made sense. And we built this whole track. It was really cool.
Great.